Now, what are the tricky aspects of doing what you're doing here, where you're adding on all of this additional material to the side of a pot you've already thrown?
You just have to make sure the pot's nice and sticky so it won't fall off.
Okay. Now, before you start adding on this kind of pot sculpture material, do you let the pot completely dry, or do you have to do it while it's still semi-wet or wet?
It's sat overnight with a bag over it so it'll stay nice and sticky.
Okay.
So the next day when you put this on there, when you fire it, it won't jump right off. It's got to stick good.
Okay, so just one night with a bag over it,
Yeah.
and then you can start adding this material.
As long as you put the bag over it each time, you can just keep it wet as long as you want.
Okay, and you can keep working with it.
And you can take a squirt bottle and squirt water on it.
Just to keep it a little moist.
And you take this stick and you push it down on the edges so it's pushed into the clay.
Now, do you score the backside of the pieces of material you're adding on, or just...
Well, these are nice and wet, so you don't have to score it.
You don't score it?
But if it's set up, you got to score it.
Okay.
Then you got to put slip on it.
Score it and use slip. That's if the pot has set up.
You don't want it to set up.
You don't want to have to go there. Okay. How often have you had a pot like this where you've added on additional material? How often have you had the material pop off when you fired it?
Well, it won't pop off if you take a pin and poke holes in it so the air can get out.
Okay. And then after it's fired, what do you do about all those holes?
They just fill up with glaze.
Fill them up with glaze. I have to say, what you're doing with your pots and the additional materials on them is pretty unique.
Well, a lot of the Mexicans do this all the time.
They do. Okay, so you're not the only one doing it.
So if you see a pot from Mexico, they have usually animals on it.
Okay. You're right. I've seen pots from southern Mexico with jaguar
Right.
on them, and they're heavily glazed and
Right.
very shiny.
Right.
Yeah, I have seen that. And is that where you got the idea, or is it just you started doing this and found they were doing that too, or what?
No, they started 30,000 years ago when they came out of flying saucers and started doing pottery.
And where did you get the idea for doing this, is what I was getting at.
From Martha Flores.
Now you're just making up stuff. You've been doing this kind of work since before you've known Martha Flores, I think.
I started when I was in grade school.
Doing what you're doing right now with adding on to pots?
I used to make stuff all the time.
Yeah. So you were born a potter.
I think I was born a maniac.
Well, that we know too. You are the crazy mad potter of Wenatchee.
Jana Banana told me I was the crazy artist.
Who was that?
Jana Banana from Leavenworth.
I think I know who that is.
She used to be an art teacher in France.
She told you that you were the crazy what?
Crazy artist.
Crazy artist. Well, I think most of the really good artists are a little bit crazy. lizard or gecko on the top. It's almost looking a little scary though. The expression on its face.
That's the desert frog.
The desert frog. Looks like a gecko or a crocodile lizard or something.
And then you can also make a lid up here with lizard sitting on top of it.
Now, the material that you've got over here that's got like running down, is this slip or what is this?
Yeah, that's I take the clay that I got in the slip bucket and pour it in the jar and let it set. And then when it turns, you can pour it on there.
Okay, and it makes this nice gravy pattern.
Then you
on
can
it.
speed up the turn and it runs down faster.
Okay, it doesn't flung off. Huh?
It does sometimes,
It does.
but you're going too fast.
If you do that, it's too fast. But if you go a little bit faster, it runs down more.
Right. Grab it.
You've developed a lot of interesting techniques, Mr. Johnson.
Just getting started.